are you eating?
Eating chicken sandwich.
A turkey sandwich? Yeah. So, I mean, just turkey sandwiches today. It's kind of a normal. I decided to add bread and chips to mine, so I'm living on the edge. I wanted to talk a little bit about baby led weaning is what we're doing with this one. She's 8 months old, and so with Ivy we did a lot of baby foods, you know, that you get, like Gerber's and all that kind of stuff, and get the lighting here. So we did a lot of that, and as she got a little bit older, maybe around 3 months, I just did a lot more research about it and kind of just kind of figured out that that was not necessarily, it's common, but it's not normal, I guess. And so I learned about baby weaning from a friend, baby-led weaning from a friend, and it just made sense to me. I was like, oh, this is totally awesome, because you don't have to, I know you like it, don't you? So yeah, I'm eating carrots and some green beans that were left over from last night's dinner. You saving some for later? And so this is just, baby-led weaning is essentially just giving them the foods that you eat yourselves, and just in smaller, maybe soft, it still needs to be soft and in small portions, but this helps with their fine motor skills, and they're independent, being able to just feed themselves in a you know, the pace that they would like or whatever, and it gets them used to textures better, and overall I just found that it was like better for our children, and so we do that, and it's just been great. And I love that, like, I'm able to sit down and eat my food, and my husband eats his food, and we all eat our individual food, and I'm not sitting here, yeah, I'm not sitting here trying to like spoon feed her, you know, the mashed up gooiness, and so she does it herself, and we're all able to eat and talk and enjoy it, and that just doesn't take time away from me getting to eat my food, and so yeah, I may talk a little bit more about that later. Are down for their naps, and I've been just trying to do some housework and cleaning, and decided to just sit down and finish talking about the baby-led weaning I was talking about earlier. And yeah, so a friend of mine introduced me to it when Ivy was about, I think she was almost 3 months, and we had done, you know, just the typical common the purees and the pre-made baby food that you buy at the store, and I hadn't really given it much thought, because that's just what is in the mainstream. You do it, you just buy baby food, and or you make, I've heard of some people that make it themselves and then freeze it or whatever, and so I had never really given it much thought, and I was like, what is this baby-led weaning thing? This sounds weird. And then after her telling me more about it and talking to me more about it, and I reading more on my own, I was like, this makes sense. This is what I think it's supposed to be. This is how it's supposed to be done. I think if you're looking at it in the most natural sense, in the most natural process, I guess. So I was super excited to start it with Ivy, and I knew that if the Lord blesses more children, that we would want to do that too with others. So with Ruthie, from the beginning, that's what we wanted to do, and she, around 5 months, she was exclusively breastfed, but I knew at night she was needing something just a little bit more to carry her through the night and for her sleeping and stuff, and so I didn't really want to introduce any baby oatmeal, but we did, and it worked great, and you know, you gotta do what you gotta do. There's nothing wrong with that. So we did baby oatmeal a little bit every night. We still do that most nights, but we've done baby-led weaning from the get-go with her, and it's just gone really great. And I feel like it's even, baby-led weaning maybe, at least in our family, more of a necessity, especially having multiple children. I just don't have as much time on my hands to set aside time to make purees and prepare and freeze and, you know, all that kind of stuff. So, you know, I just make one meal for the whole family, and baby eats what everybody else eats. So that's just been very convenient and easy. I just feel like she's very content as well, because with baby led weaning, you see them learn to, they just become independent, learning to feed themselves. They're becoming more aware of what they can handle. You know, sometimes she may put a little bit too much in her mouth. She's learning that she controls that, and she's learning what she can and can't control, and what she can handle. And so that's just neat to watch them. They're very capable, and it's amazing what they can do, and they know how to do, and they figure out themselves. And I feel like we give them that opportunity with baby led weaning. So yeah, she really enjoys it. And like earlier in the video that you saw, she was eating carrots and green beans, and I had made those the night before, and we all ate those, and they were just leftovers. So all I had to do is just kind of reheat them a little bit and give them to her, and she loves it. And it's just been nice to sit down as a family and have a meal, and not have to, you know, every few minutes spoon feed her, you know, and spoon feed her. You know, I can eat my food and she eats her food, and it's just very nice. And it's really good for their fine motor skills, learning to pick up small food and where their mouth is and how to get it in there. And it's also good for them to learn to control the food in their mouths, like, you know, with their tongue and their chewing and the textures. There's just so many benefits that they're getting from that. And, you know, I feel like it's very important for every family to choose what's best for them, obviously, and to do what's best for their family. And disclaimer, we use pouches sometimes. I think it's really convenient and really nice to have pouches on hand for, you know, if the grandparents come over and want to feed her something, or you know, and they don't feel comfortable giving her food yet or something. She has no teeth, by the way, still at 8 months. And so, or just, you know, in the go, having a pouch in the diaper bag is nice. We recently went on vacation to Gatlinburg with my husband's side of the family, and I did like almost all pouches with Ruthie, because it's just convenient. I didn't want to have to worry about packing and preparing and using anything that I might have stored in the freezer, and just dealing with all that. And so pouches definitely come in handy. We have used baby purees, you know, for things like that. But I want to encourage moms and parents in general to like know why you're doing what you're doing. I feel like, at least in my case, when Ivy was little and she was just starting to eat and we were giving her purees, I was just doing it because isn't that what you're supposed to do? You know, that's what I was thinking. I was like, there's no other way to do it. I mean, grocery stores have aisles dedicated to this stuff, and there's companies, and you can see it on TV, you know, the Gerber commercials, and it's just a mainstream thing to do, to feed your kid purees. And so hearing something else was just kind of crazy to me. But when it came down to it, me and my husband were like, well, this just makes sense, you know, to feed them what we eat. And it's really easy and really simple, and we don't have to go out of our way. And so just whatever you decide for your family, I feel like it's important to know why you're doing what you're doing, and educating yourself on it, and, you know, not just doing it because you read it in the, what was that book that they give you, a lot of people read, I think Publix gave it to me in a, like, if you are a new mom, you can go into Publix and tell them you're a new mom and you sign up for whatever, and they give you like some books. And I think I did that with Ivy, and it was like the first year or something. I don't know, you probably know what I'm talking about. But, you know, and it talks about the baby food. Baby led weaning is not mentioned much. It's not something that is thrown around a lot. And so hopefully it does. That's why I like to talk about it, because it's so great. I wish I had known about it, you know, sooner, before Ivy even started eating. So so yeah, I'll post the link below to, I think it's like just the regular baby led weaning website that my friend had given me, and where you can just read about it yourselves and just Google it. But there's just so many benefits from it, and whether it be in feeding your child or in your spiritual walk, just it's so important to know why you're doing what you're doing and having a reason behind it instead of just like, that's just what I want to do. So, know why you're making these choices. So yeah, so that's our kind of like our baby led weaning update and what's going on there. So yeah, I'm gonna go finish my hot tea and probably lay down for a few minutes because the girls will be up soon. And yeah, so I will see y'all guys later. Bye.